Before I left Los Angeles, everything was handled the same way I always handled it. Through people, through approvals, through distance. That was safer.
While she was still in Los Angeles, I finished what I had started. The store was already waiting for her.
このシャツ、マネキンズに合わせよう。
はい、こっち。
By the time I arrived, the city was already awake. I wasn't. I didn't let myself feel anything yet. I told myself that could come later. Japan was never part of the plan. But here I was, walking into a city that felt unfamiliar and strangely personal. 3 weeks. That's all this was supposed to be. Business, structure, distance. Then my phone vibrated. One message, no name. I didn't ask questions. I already knew. I told myself this meeting didn't matter, that whatever was left between us stayed in Los Angeles. I hadn't prepared myself to see him again. Not like this. And suddenly, business didn't feel so simple anymore. The car moved, and yet nothing moved at all. Silence filled every inch between us.
Ignore your calls because I didn't care. I ignored them because I didn't trust what I thought I saw.
But you could have just asked. He's my cousin. I didn't know you were watching me.
And I didn't know how to admit that it mattered more than it should have.
I didn't know how to explain why it mattered, that it mattered to him. I could not help but smile. Tokyo never sleeps, but tonight, everything felt quiet. Too quiet. We sat inches apart in that car, pretending distance could still protect us.
I told myself this was business, but every reflection in the glass reminded me I had already crossed that line.
I didn't ask why he was suddenly so quiet. 3 weeks. That's what they said. 3 weeks of business, and pretending nothing else existed. First morning set the tone, and this one was clear. No distractions, no assumptions, no emotions.
She leads with precision. I've always admired that, even when it keeps her out of reach.
We didn't talk about the night before, and I didn't need to. This is where we start. Everything else can wait. The store was ready. Everything was where it needed to be. I wasn't. Tokyo time didn't care where I came from. Today I felt extra tired. It might be the time difference.
Did you manage to eat?
I almost didn't answer.
No.
Almost.
I was going to.
There's a place nearby. Nothing formal. If you're too tired, I am.
Give me 10 minutes.
That was all I needed to hear.
He didn't assume. He didn't push. That mattered. I told myself it was just dinner, food, conversation, no expectations. I was very good at convincing myself.
I had negotiated billion-yen deals.
I wasn't sure
This
if you'd
felt
come.
harder.
He
I
looked
almost
different
didn't.
outside the boardroom. Still composed, just human.
This is chawan mushi, a savory egg custard, and the tempura is very lightly fried, keeping it crisp.
You didn't have to do this.
I wanted to.
This wasn't part of the plan, and somehow, it mattered more.
I didn't know what this was, but for the first time, I didn't want it to end.
I didn't expect this, seeing you again, working this closely.
He
But
said
I
it
feel
carefully,
something, and I didn't want to
like he
pretend I
already
don't.
knew my answer might hurt.
I'm sorry. I can't accept that, not yet.
My mind is on the launch, on getting this right. And honestly, I'm tired. I need time to understand what this even is.
I wasn't asking for an answer, just honesty.
He didn't push, and that made it harder to walk away. Rest didn't come easy. Pressure doesn't care about jet lag or feelings. Every seam mattered, every hanger. This wasn't just a store, it was my name.
She carried the vision. I carried the obstacles.
This needs to be fixed before tomorrow.
It will be.
He didn't push back. He didn't disappear. He stayed. The closer we got to launch, the harder it became to pretend this was only business. I could feel the weight, and I didn't have room for anything else.
I would wait, even if waiting meant silence.
Everything was almost ready, and I still didn't know what I was most afraid of: failure or feeling. The day was long, longer than I expected. Meetings, smiles, applause. The launch was a success. Everyone kept telling me I should be proud. I was, but pride doesn't cancel exhaustion. They planned an after-party to celebrate.
Everything was finally moving, and still, I was waiting.
The room shifted the moment I stepped in. I felt it before I saw it.
She didn't just enter the room, she claimed it.
I reminded myself why I was here. This wasn't about being seen. It was about standing.
This is going well.
Yes, the energy is positive.
I don't believe we've met. I wanted to introduce myself.
He introduces himself with high interest in my presence. I felt a bit uneasy. He stepped in like a hero to save the night. It wasn't a rescue, it was
Would
a
you
choice.
dance with me?
I didn't want to interrupt, but I wasn't ready to step aside.
I didn't know then that the night wasn't done introducing me. That's when the night changed.